Good morning. Thank you, everyone who is able to join Sandra P's Gen Extra for the Real Housewives of Potomac review. This is a new season. I'm going to change the layout for one moment so that you can actually see the ladies just really quickly. I'll change that and then I'll come back in. There we are. This is the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 10, episode 3. And of course, we see in the center is that a cherry blossom? I'm not sure, but it is Giselle. To her immediate left is Dr. Wendy. We have the beautiful Stacy next to Dr. Wendy. That is one of the new cast members, which is Angel. And then I'll start from the far right. That is Tia. The beautiful Kierna in the hoop earrings and this part in the middle, straight back. And then, of course, that's Ashley right over Giselle's shoulder. So they are looking gorgeous. We have Sharon Gobble who has come in. Thank you so much for joining during the live team replay. Welcome to you as well. As you come in, just click the like button. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe because I will be reviewing this season. This is a good season. Real Housewives of Potomac. This is an excellent season because there's so much going on behind the scenes. So this is season 10. It is episode 2. This episode is called Chin Checked. So if you watched last week, you know that they are already talking about the same thing. Okay? The same thing, chin check. So this happened last week. This is something that Kierna said during the conversation. So we have chin check. We start out with the mini scenes as they come in really quickly. Let me see how that looks. I don't like covering up any other lady's face. One more. I think there's one that's not as, okay, that is the best one. All right. Angel and her husband, they are discussing the budget. We know they're looking for a home in Potomac. They are renting right now. But I think that their expectations are high because as we saw last week, they have an award-winning architectural digest-worthy home in Denver that they still own. So they want something equally beautiful as much as of a showplace in Potomac when they buy in Maryland. So they're discussing the budget kind of playfully. She said 4, 5, 6. We're talking millions, y'all. She said 7. And the husband finally said, God, dang. Okay. That's right. He needs to keep a healthy skepticism because we don't want to see them ending up like other people. He's retired from the NFL, and they have invested well. They have a luxury company where they take people out on excursions. So I want them to keep that where they're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, where I am the Joneses, as Nene used to say. Welcome in, CC. CC is one of the moderators. She's speaking to myself, Sharon, the chat. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much, CC. I appreciate that. We get another mini scene where we see Ashley in a workout class claiming, I have to outwork everyone. If I'm not the only one in the class, I have to outwork everyone. But Ashley shows up in big hoop earrings and a wig, and she claimed the wig is almost falling off because Ashley was sweating. So she was working out hard, but Ashley, you were trying to put on a certain face in that class. You were showing off for that class. We saw a scene with Stacy and her cute little Arabella, and AJ is there. AJ is Stacy's friend. I'm glad AJ's there for support of Stacy. Bella is doing her walk. She's doing her practice walk for Miss Third Grade. But there was a former Miss DC who put her sash on her, and Bella is walking. Of course, Stacy says, do you want me to show you? Can I get up and do it? Stacy's beautiful, so she's doing all this walking, and Bella's got that little girl face on like, Ma, come on. And AJ said, okay, sit down. He had to sit Stacy down. And she said, let me call Pops. She put her husband up she put him up to the daughter so he could see the daughter walk, and he was talking to Stacy first. That man wouldn't let us see him last season. You remember he was blurred out in the photographs at the house? This season, this man is beaming, okay, at Stacy and at this little girl. So we don't know we do know. TMZ pulled up divorce paperwork, so they were divorced. But Stacy is saying now they are slowly working their way back together. And Bella's no dummy. She knows. Mama 59 works. Thank you so much. Welcome in. It's one of my moderators. Good morning, Sandra P. and chat. You are saying the same thing. I feel, Sharon Gobble. I'm so tired of Ashley. And we'll get more tired of her as the episode goes on, because Ashley can't help being Ashley. She's just a pain in the neck, and she's really bringing nothing. So, okay, we have a workout scene. All right, thanks, Ashley. So next we have a scene with Dr. Wendy and Kierna are meeting by a beautiful lake, and they are discussing what happened the last time they were all together. And Kierna correctly says, I feel like I need to talk to you when we're not in a party setting. We kind of need to be away from the group. When we were with the Ashley's Bloom Ball, I don't like the way things went. I feel like you were condescending. Kierna started out kind of, let me talk to you for a minute. And she was already upset. Dr. Wendy walked in her lavender suit. Now, you know, everybody's watching Dr. Wendy now because she's in the news, because of the charges against her and her husband, Eddie. And they were my favorite franchise couple. I wish I could still say they were. Now, just looking at them with a skeptical eye and the disappointment and thinking of the hurt that their children are going to experience, I don't know. I just hope there's some kind of way they can have the minimal amount of damage. But just watching Dr. Wendy at work, and I don't know if it's just because we know of a lot of things that they're putting in the court documents. Dr. Wendy seemed like she was putting on airs, everybody. I hate to say it, the way she was speaking to Kierna. And even though Kierna was seemingly a little sensitive over it, the way Dr. Wendy was acting, I could see everything Kierna was talking about. I could. So they were talking about Wendy acting as if it's for the show. And Kierna saying, when we're on the phone, it's just us. You're very excited about me. You're a friend to me. When we get in front of people, you're acting kind of differently. Wendy's doing all this gesturing, y'all. She's showing all these big diamond rings. I know that the insurance people, they already been looking at the scenes. Y'all, this is a mess. Mama 59 Works says what it is. Ashley likes and needs attention. And she does. I get so tired of people that are like that. She sucks up all the air in the room. And she's not as kind of sneaky with it as Giselle is. Giselle's like that too, but she kind of knows how to maneuver better than Miss Ashley. Miss Ashley could go, really. She could go. So Dr. Wendy and Kierna are speaking. I hope Kierna can see by now Dr. Wendy's not her real friend. Dr. Wendy really, for some reason, still wants to be close to the popular girls, which would be Giselle, and then whomever Giselle has in her corner at that time. And I hate to see it, because Dr. Wendy had so much going for her, the seasons and seasons that she's been here. I'm just disappointed. So as Kierna is saying that hurts her when she does that, she said, I don't like that. Dr. Wendy started laughing, y'all. But she said, she's showing the rings and stuff. Y'all, this is a mess. So Kay lets her do that. Kierna says, okay. She said, I'm going to pregame the Preakness. We know that's a big event. It's a horse race in Maryland. They have something called Black Eyed Susans. A lot of prestigious women get together. Production helpfully shows us in seasons past, the housewives have been a staple. They're always invited. This used to be Dame Karen Huger's thing, but now we've got Giselle and all the other ladies taking part. Dr. Wendy starts shaking her head. No, that was kind of rude, Wendy. She's like, and then she gets a confessional and says, I have been invited by First Lady DeWan Moore. Y'all, that's Governor Wes Moore's wife, the governor of Maryland. I've been invited by First Lady DeWan Moore, and I'm going to have my event. So she's definitely not going to do a joint event with Kierna. So Kierna's going to have an event at her beautiful condo. They'll come over before the event, which is Dr. Wendy's event, and then the actual Preakness. But I didn't like the way the conversation went, and I didn't like how it ended. Cece is saying what I think, and these ladies feel like it can happen, but we've seen it happen, and this might happen here. Cece says, I wish they would pause Ashley. She never has her own real story to share. If Giselle was smart, she'd lead an Ashley freeze out campaign before she gets a chance to turn on her. Because Cece, we know that Ashley would have no problem turning on her. None whatsoever. But Giselle's very crafty, and she don't have that sense of bloom for nothing. I think that she might do something like that, and it wouldn't bother me a bit. We'll see some more behavior from Ashley that annoyed me throughout this episode. So the ladies are meeting at a little dress shop. They're picking out clothes. We have Giselle come in. Tia comes in. Tia is one of the new cast members. She says, I'm knackered. Of course, she lets us know right away, honey, she's Nigerian and British. I'm knackered. Giselle's pretending she can't pronounce it. Knackered. I watch enough of the BBC and a lot of those shows. I know that means tired. So she tells Giselle, that means tired. And then Giselle says, well, I won't be adding that to my repertoire. Me either, Giselle. Angel and Dr. Wendy arrive. Wendy comes in another elaborate short set. Y'all, are y'all wondering whether or not she's taking these clothes back? They said she was doing that, taking clothing back. This is terrible. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I wish I didn't know about it. I don't want to know this. But we have to bring it in because it is now part of the show. So Wendy's looking through the clothes. Honey, these clothes are not good enough for Dr. Wendy. Wendy said, do grandmas shop here? And then she said, I have to get something for my mother. So Angel asked, did the ladies have fun at her event? Giselle's like, we've been together a lot, but we're not having any fun. Angel said, well, I want to know what your idea of fun is. Confessional Giselle tells us, sound bowls, sound baths, that's not fun. So I'm taking the ladies to Nevis in the Caribbean. So the ladies are excited. Yeah, group trip, y'all, and we're only 2 episodes in. I'm excited about their group trip because I know this is going to be a mess. So Giselle reminded, she said, the best group trip we've had, and I haven't hosted since then, was when we went to New Orleans. I don't know which season, but it was fun. Production shows us Giselle's late dad. Rest in peace to Giselle's dad on that second line. They were doing their New Orleans thing. That's the best thing about Giselle, that and the daughters. That gives her flavor. And the HBCU, I'll give her that too. So she's excited about the trip. The ladies are excited. Tia brings up, well, when we came to the sound bath event at your house, I was the only one in yoga pants. So she's saying she was dressed for that event. Giselle said that wasn't really fashionable. Tia said, I know you're not talking about fashion. I found that funny, y'all. So Tia tells us that before she came to the show, she said it had been around that Giselle could not dress. I slid in her DMs and told her I could help her. She said, don't DM Giselle because she won't answer. So Giselle, she didn't have an answer. She didn't have a comeback to that. So you can't play with Tia. I like what Tia said. So then they discussed Angel and Kay. Giselle moves the story along. So Angel, are you okay with Kay now? You know, you had that chin check situation. Angel says, well, after I spoke to her about it, she reversed course again and said she did not say that. Remember, Kierna apologized to Angel and said, I'm sorry, I did say that, but I didn't know it would be taken that way. Now she has told Angel privately, I didn't say chin check. We all saw her say chin check, y'all. We all saw it. Sharon Gabo says, Wendy is just irrelevant at this point. She still has that entitled, stank attitude. The gig is up. Wendy needs to chill. Yeah, Sharon, we're looking at it like the rear view because she's already shot these scenes thinking she was getting over on the viewer and on her castmates. And now that we know everything that's in those insurance documents about her taking back clothes and all this kind of stuff, claiming the jewelry's robbed and all, it's bad. But she got the attitude and the haughtiness to go with it. Cece said, Sharon, you know Wendy wants to crawl under a rock right now. I know. I would. They can't scrap the whole season. I don't know what they could do because she's an integral part of the season. And now everybody got a magnifying glass out watching it. I know I did. When she was gesturing to Kierna, I kept looking at those rings. I said, I wonder if that's the ring the insurance was talking about. So everybody's doing that. Not just us. Everybody that's watching it is doing that. Now, I want to know if that's going to help or hurt people that are actually watching. I don't know. I think it might help because people are nosy. I'm nosy. I want to know. So it might help. So now Kierna has said she didn't say it. She said this privately to her friend. She didn't say chin check, even though she admitted and apologized. Giselle said, okay, now this is going to be a problem because I'm not a liar. Giselle gets in a confessional and says, they say enough crazy stuff where I don't have to lie anymore. Anymore? Did y'all caught that? I don't have to lie anymore? You mean like that lie you told on Monique about that being the trainer's baby and that was her husband's baby? And then told a lie on Chris that he wanted you as a sneaky link? Giselle says she doesn't have to lie anymore. So we're listening to you, Miss Giselle. She said if Kierna reiterates that, this is going to be a problem. So then the conversation went further. We go back to the group in the dress shop, and Angel says, she said, I can't believe that my friend would say something like chin check, talking about being physical. I forgot to mention during the scene, when she was in the scene with her husband, that came up again too, that, Kierna said that she had to chin check me, and he was even laughing, chin check? No, can't nobody chin check you. So this is a thing that Angel's really taking to heart. Like, why would Kay say this about me? And she did say it, but I think it was just seen heat of the moment because they show her saying it repeatedly. And she's like, yeah, I had to say, I backed her up real quick. I had to chin check her because are you cool? And I could tell Kay was just throwing something out there. But when Giselle gets a hold of something, she's like a dog with a bone, a pretty dog, but a dog with a bone. Sharon, you watching it? Yeah, I caught that. See, because we watch and we're listening, and Giselle thinks she's slick, but she gotta be quicker than that. I don't have to lie anymore. They say enough crazy stuff. I don't have to lie anymore. So Giselle, that's bad. Don't be lying on these ladies. Wendy pipes up, oh, what do you mean? When Angel was talking about with her history with this group, she shouldn't say anything that's aggressive. What do you mean? You mean her getting hit in the head? That's Dr. Wendy. And Angel says yes. Because Kierna was assaulted in this group. Now, this will come up later. Ashley's not there at this point. So we've got Angel and Tia, the new ladies. Dr. Wendy showed up. Giselle showed up. So Kierna and Ashley are not there. So then we get to the party, the pregame event that Kierna's hosting for Preakness, our beautifully decorated condo. Greg is there. I'm tired of looking at Greg. He's dressed nicely. She tells us that he has shown that he's going to support her now. Production helpfully shows us last season where she's crying about, I don't feel like Greg supports me. Her mother's there, her beautiful mother. Her mother looked like she could fit in with this group. Stacy comes in. She and Kay had a problem. She said, oh, yeah, she's 6'4" and I'm 5'3". I can handle her. We're good. They do greet each other. They hug. Giselle comes in. Kierna is not satisfied with what Giselle is wearing. Now, Giselle's shopping out of her own closet. We'll give it up to Giselle for that. She built that house and they were making fun of it. Like, oh, what's it going to look like? Etch-a-sketch house, all kind of stuff it's called. But Giselle, we think, is not living above her means, thankfully. And I thought she looked good. What was wrong with the flower suit? There were these little hats called fascinators, too. That's for the Preakness. The ladies wear those. Kind of like the Kentucky Derby type thing, but East Coast in Maryland horse event, Preakness. So Giselle comes in. She greets the mom. Like I said, the mom could squeeze right in. She said, oh, is she staying? She said, oh, she'll be hovering around. She's just helping Kierna host. Confessional Case said, I can't believe Giselle is wearing this two-piece little flowered bloom suit. What is this? She said, she knew she was coming. I thought that was funny because Kierna is a fashion plate. She's in another one of those looks. They call the print like a poochie. It has purple and gold and, of course, some type of thing on her head again. Kierna's so pretty. So Greg and Kierna's mom are talking. We know that they had words before. Kierna did not like Greg for her daughter. How are y'all doing? Oh, we're doing fine. Kierna's looking so beautiful. The mother says, is that all you love about her? He's like, no, that's not all, but that's never been a problem. And we have to agree. That's true. Sharon says, Greg is not there for her. He loves the exposure he's getting. I think he does, too. You see him handing out those drinks. Don't be hosting like that in my house. I didn't like that. You want a mimosa? He's handing mimosas to all the ladies. I feel like the Preakness event, since all the ladies are there in their little fascinators and stuff, the mom was there. They had a chef. The mom could help host. We didn't need Greg there. So, but he's there. Like Sharon said, he like attention. Kierna's sitting at the head of her table. And she's saying, Greg's working to support me more. So the ladies are just looking. It's just best not to comment on these relationships because we know what a mess it is. Kay and Angel are brought up again. Cece says Kierna is like many women who have all the smoke for other women, but not for her man. She's docile as a little lamb with Greg. She need to be shaking her little head and wagging that finger at Greg, but she won't do that. She's going to get into it with Angel again. So that Giselle wants to know if they're okay because Giselle got to get the party started. Kierna I apologize for saying chin check, but if it continues to be brought up, we're going to have a problem. That's exactly how she was talking, y'all, at the head of the table to her friend. And y'all, Angel looked kind of meek. Angel looked a little bit meek. Stacy gets in a confessional and says, I noticed Kierna's mom is lingering and she's down for whatever. I noticed that too, Stacy. So you better stay in your place as well. They seem like the type. I think Kierna has a young mom. Sometimes any mom, but young moms, they will go off over their child. Okay. You know, Kierna's a grown woman. I think Kierna's mom doesn't play about her daughter. So I noticed that too. Dr. Wendy's meddling. She says, why is your energy different than how it was at the dress shop? Dr. Wendy, why are you trying to act like Giselle and cause a problem between these two 20-year friends? I didn't like that, y'all. I feel like enough with the chin check. Kierna did a little too much. Angel didn't like it. Kierna apologized. She took it back. She apologized. I don't think this should be going on another episode. We got an episode named Chin Check, and now we're going to try to poke these two friends. I don't think it's good. Ashley is saying, yeah, keep that same energy. Now, y'all remember, Ashley was not even at the dress shop. So how does she know what energy Angel said when she said that? Okay, I don't like her saying that. It's going to be a problem. I don't like Ashley doing that, but we know what they're going to do. I got Ashley Bobblehead Darby wasn't even there. That's in my notes. So Angel and Kierna, y'all are crazy if you let these women meddle in this 20-year friendship. These are co-workers. Watch how fast they're going to drop Dr. Wendy over these charges. And she's innocent until proven guilty. So Dr. Wendy says, oh, yeah, she says it wasn't energy. She even brought up you getting hit. Now, that's Kierna's sore spot. Mine, too, because y'all know Kierna was permanently scarred. We don't see it. Kierna, if y'all are new to the show, Kierna is to my far right above me with the straight hair and the hoops. The second lady. I'm trying to point like y'all can see me. She's the second lady right above the Bravo. That's Kierna. But she has a permanent scar that it's able to be covered up with makeup, thank goodness. But that is her sore spot. You don't talk about that. So Dr. Wendy bringing that up, I didn't like that. She said, yeah, she said she did bring it up, that you were attacked, you had a fight. And then Ashley said, oh, that's going too far. Ashley, see, this is where I need Stacy and the other ones to clock in. What does Ashley mean that bringing that up is going too far? Ashley actually brought the woman, Sesame Street, to the club to attack Candace. And that's how Kierna got hurt. This is why I don't like when people don't check Ashley like that. Ashley is a trip. I put that in the note. Darby, you brought Sesame Street to attack Candace. So now she's trying to cause this problem between Kierna and Angel. So Kay says that, well, Wendy they were talking about that. I like Kay changing the subject because then she says, well, this is my pregame event, but Dr. Wendy's having her own event because she has to do her own better event. She has first, better, best syndrome for everything she does, which is kind of true. Wendy says, if there's any problems going forward, it's just she's having the problem with me. But Dr. Wendy did act like her event was better because she was invited by the First Lady of Maryland. She was invited by Dwan Moore. And then Kierna's event is just a little event at Kierna's condo. But I don't see why they couldn't have worked together. I don't expect Kierna to jointly host what Dr. Wendy is doing, but I didn't see anything wrong with them kind of correlating the two events since all of the ladies are going to be there at both events. So I didn't really care for that. After Kierna, she went back and told Angel again, because Angel was looking kind of, okay, I don't want to keep talking about this. I don't know what that was about, because when Angel said, okay, if she did say chin check, I'm really going to have a problem. And then the husband said, no, she wouldn't have said that. Chin check, that's physical. That's like, ugh, which we know that is like a mush. So now Angel and Kierna kind of have this misunderstanding that they haven't really solved. Dr. Wendy is enjoying it. Ashley likes it a little bit too much, as well as Giselle. I'm disappointed to see it. I hope it doesn't really go any further. Giselle gets in a confessional and says, if she didn't chin check her before, that was a chin check. She still didn't chin check her. She didn't physically chin check her, but that was kind of like, let me put you back in your place. Stop bringing this up, which I wish they would stop bringing it up in front of the ladies, because as Kierna saw when she met with Dr. Wendy privately, sometimes when the ladies have an audience, they act a little bit different. They clock in and they want everybody to see them and they want to be talked about, and in the blogs and people saying, oh yeah, clock it, she told her. And I don't think that's what you want, because I don't like how Angel came off looking like maybe, okay, let me not keep saying this to Kay. That was the adult thing to do. I didn't want her to argue with her, but I didn't like how she came off looking. And another thing, when Angel came in, Angel's very full figured and busty, and she's also breastfeeding. She talked about that when they said they were going to Nevis, and she was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to pump and dump. But Giselle, this was really raggedy for you to have adult daughters that are away at HBCUs. We love the girls, but I didn't love this, Giselle. She said, I didn't know what's going on with Angel's breast. Don't be on TV talking about this lady's breast. You know she is breastfeeding. We saw her little baby in the scene. That was a cute scene. The father was there. We find out that Angel has lost her mom, but she and her dad are really close. The husband and the father, they were cooking sausages and stuff. And the little baby was just sitting at the high chair, like waiting on her food. So when Angel came in with something that was very form-fitting, because she is a curvy lady, and it was very low cut, and Giselle said, I don't know what's going on with Angel's breast. Kiana didn't like your outfit, but she didn't talk about your body. And you cried for 3 seasons over Candace saying, not today neck, not today ankles. So don't talk about a breastfeeding mother's breast. Sometimes these women do a little too much. They do too much. So then we're ending with Kiana saying that Wendy has the first, better, best syndrome. And she does. And I think that has gotten herself and my sweet happy Eddie into a world of trouble. But that was the end of the episode. We're going to be a preview where we see the ladies. They are going to head out to Nevis. I hope they have a successful trip. I hope they have a good trip, but I think they're going to have a problem on this trip because we've seen them be able to successfully stir up a non-issue between these two 20-year friends. In my opinion, Wendy looks evil. Maybe she always did, but I've noticed it more now. Sharon, I'm trying to watch it so that I'm not like noticing every little thing, but I noticed that too. When they showed the picture from when she was in school. Oh, Giselle, there was a scene where Giselle asked, well, y'all didn't get to hang out in college? Y'all didn't get to hang out? No, because we find out Angel was about 4 years younger. She was a freshman and Wendy was a senior. Wendy has this Joker smile, like overexcited. And then also when she was talking to Kiana, she's like, like a Cruella DeVille type thing. And I don't know. It might just all be fake and just an affect. It just doesn't seem like the real her. I miss Dr. Wendy from her first season when she came in and she didn't have all these 5 Birkins and she was doing that little slink, like, I'm Wendy. I actually have 4 degrees, just kind of a little insecure, a little unsure. But she let Karen and Giselle kind of poke her to where she's not even herself. And now look at the trouble she's in. Her and Eddie were living comfortably. They said there's a lot of debt, but there's no need for them, innocent until proven guilty, but there was no need for them to think they could get away with what a lot of these other housewives have gotten away with. I'm fixated on her more now as well. It's interesting to watch. I look at her clothes. You see the scene where she came in when they were that was just a little out at the lake, just sitting there watching the ducks, having a conversation. Karen had maybe a watch on, her little ring, something understated. She looked cute. You might walk around and think, no, here come Wendy, honey. Lavender, plumes, and then the short set. It's kind of ridiculous as you look at it. It's a little sad, honestly. So that is, I put something in there. Oh, that's StreamYard. I pressed something I didn't intend to do that. I don't know if I can take it down or not. No, it's just in the chat. Let me take it down. But that was the end of the episode, y'all. Not too much happened. A lot of conversation. I guess I would give it a 7. And honestly, maybe a point or 2 is coming because I'm looking forward to this trip to Nevis and seeing the ladies travel together. I want to see how the friendship is. I won't say resolved because it's not over. It's a 20-year friendship. But I want to see how they're able to protect themselves and manage with these ladies because Giselle is a menace. She is up to no good. Ashley has no storyline. She's been able to pipe up and say, oh, that's going too far. That's going too far. That Angel was mentioning what Kiana got hit. I would have said, yeah, that went way too far. When you brought that lady to attack my friend, I wish I was there. That went way too far. I'm glad Angel wasn't there because she's a new mother. I hate Kiana got hurt. They flashed back to that, y'all. I don't remember if they showed Karen. They did. Karen was crying. She was holding something up to her head. She was bleeding. And then we saw at the reunion, she thanked Karen. She said Karen was the only one like really taking care of me. Because Ashley and all her minions, they were in like we went too far mode. And they were all hyped up and trying to figure out how they were going to get out of it. I don't know if Giselle took Kiana under her wing after that. That could have been really terrible, y'all. Glass was involved. That's how she got cut. Glass was involved. So this was terrible. You give it a 7 as well, Sharon Godbolt? Okay. Elisa Triplet, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming in during the live. we are getting ready to wrap. So hopefully you will be team replay. But we gave the episode a 7 because there was a lot of talking. We got to see a little mischief making from Giselle, which she's brought here to do. That's her job. Ashley, we have agreed she could just pause or even go altogether because she's just trying to pile in on something that's not even her own storyline. And they've been able to kind of stir something up between Kierna and Angel. I don't want to see it keep going. Sharon, this is what I'm waiting for. Didn't Giselle say last week? We need Monique to enter the chat. Now, it's been years since Giselle would have wanted Monique to enter the chat, but now she's ready for her. I don't want Monique, though, to allow Giselle or Ashley to use her against Stacey because you know they're going to plant that she's trying to date Chris Samuels. I don't know if Stacey put out a call to Chris Samuels or not. We know she's got her husband back. We see him beaming at her and the daughter. I do believe the storyline that Stacey is rekindling with the husband, even though TMZ did show paperwork that the divorce went through. She said that in a confessional. What do you do when you're already divorced and you're dating again? You just date, Stacey. If you get remarried, you get remarried. I think Kierna was the one, or maybe Angel. No, it had to be, I think it was Angel. Somebody's grandparents got back, no, Tia. The grandparents divorced, a full divorce, got back together 6 months later and had another 60 years. So really, when married people are together like that, you can't really tell what's going to happen. I wish Stacey and her husband well. He seems happier than he was last season. He wouldn't show us his face last season. So I'm like Sharon. I'm waiting on Monique to make her appearance. This was an okay episode for episode 2, Chin Checked. So thank you so much for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra for my live recap, review, opinion of The Real Housewives of Potomac. We're going to keep watching Dr. Wendy with an eagle eye and a magnifying glass. And Sharon, see ya. She tells everybody, see ya. And we will see you in the YouTube streets. Thank you, everybody. Bye.